Hour Podcast, recorded July 11th, 2011. Episode 51, Vafrous Video Vaniloquence.
Welcome to the Amp Hour. I'm Dave Jones from the EEV blog.
And I'm Chris Gamble from Chris Gamble's Analog Life.
And this is pretty novel, isn't it, Chris?
It is. We are on Google Plus for the very first time, and we are using the Hangout feature. If people don't know about it, it is basically a video. We're trying out video as well, so we apologize in advance.
So if we're giggling, it's because we're staring at each other. Via our webcams, and we're trying to video capture it as well. So hopefully this will upload onto YouTube.
I'm just hoping that I can look at the camera, look at the screen, remember to switch over to you. We're actually doing all the production, switching and everything, and so hopefully it doesn't suck too much. But we'll have the audio just for all our regular listeners. So
yeah, and hopefully we don't get any bleed through on the audio because I'm using my little earbud headphones. Hello,
I'm
everyone.
a little more worried about...
I'm waving at the camera. This is
he
stupid.
was waving.
Man, this is so lame.
Switch over. We'll have to have some kind of visual at some point here. I mean, why else are we doing this, But we'll see.
I think the whole idea, the golden rule of video and TV and broadcast and everything else is just to pretend the camera's not there. That's the thing you've got to do. So maybe that's what we should do.
I will do that. I will just ignore the hell out of you, Dave. Oh, wait, the camera, not the... not the...
I think we ignore the hell out of each other anyway and just rant.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
so,
what should we start with? I mean, we have...
do we have any shout-outs?
This list. We do have a shout-out. I wanted to start with history, actually. This is a pretty fun week in history, actually.
Go for it. This week in history.
So, this week is actually... two things. First off, Tesla was born July 10th back in 1800s. And so happy birthday, Nikola Tesla. And
awesome. And all the Tesla fanboys are going to get super excited. All of those, those energy scammers, they'll get mega excited.
Yeah. And so there's a lot of fun. I mean, I saw a couple things on Reddit, and I think Google had a doodle with it. And there's a YouTube video and all this other stuff about history and everything. But, just kind of reminding yourself about history all the time. It's interesting just seeing, man, it was messed up, the stuff between him and Edison, that whole electrocuting elephants. And
the whole AC/DC thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the War of the Currents and everything. So
War of the Currents. Is that what it's called? Is that the official...
Well, that is the Wikipedia page, at least.
Okay, right. There you go. I haven't heard War of the Currents.
Yeah, so AC versus DC is War of the Currents. And, so there's a couple fun links we'll post up about it. And, man, I'm really nervous now that I'm video. This is stupid.
Yeah, I know. So am I.
I'm never on video.
Blogger. I'm a video blogger, and it's just, I don't know.
We'll try not to
it's just different.
Cut back to that too much.
I know. I've got to remember. Yeah, we can't pick our nose. We can't do anything. We can't scratch our bum. We're on.
Well, we can. Just gotta make sure we're not on camera at the time. I can, since I'm in control, I can just pan over to you, and it'll be fine.
And I'm sorry, but my mic is just far superior. I'm just holding my mic up to the camera now. It's got a spider shock mount. Sorry.
Yeah.
Far superior. Your analog mic there.
Yeah.
You have to get one of these spider mounts. They just look
they
totally
look
professional.
Yeah. That's right. And now people can see them. If anybody's listening after this or watching, they'll be so sick of us messing with video and everything.
I don't know. I will probably upload this to my channel as a test to see if anyone likes actually watching the Amp Hour. Because who knows? Maybe there's people out there who watch and they don't know the Amp Hour exists, really. Or they don't care, and maybe they will like it now that they're watching it.
And
us
now they'll
rant
have
on
to
for an hour.
Deal with me too. They'll be like, "Who's this?
Who's this guy with the
12-year-old
70s sideburns?" Yeah.
Yeah.
Show us your sideburns, Chris.
Why do I always
Turn to
get
the
crap
side.
about my sideburns? Why do I always?
They're so
not that
70s,
bad.
dude.
I get it cut here. I get it cut halfway up my ear, and then it just kind of creeps down on me. So it's
right.
Come on. I got to get a haircut now before every amp hour. It sucks.
All right. Yeah, I just got my hair cut the other day. It was really big. Now it's all short.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't work on radio.
No, it doesn't
It's
really.
only for video. Sorry, all our dedicated radio listeners, which is 99.9% of our audience. Well, it's got to be 100.
It's all
right?
of it. It's all of them, right? Yeah.
Boy.
So this other this day in nerd history. That's what this segment's called for people that are maybe watching new the first time. We call it this day in nerd history. Now we have to go through all the segments again and come up with names and tell people what the names are and everything. But it's actually related to the David Bowie thing, or to the David Bowie thing.
What's the David Bowie thing?
I just blew that one.
I do
Nikola
know that you
Tesla
have a David Bowie fetish.
The Nikola Tesla thing. So a little bit of history. David Bowie played Nikola Tesla in The Prestige, which is a movie about magicians in this kind of time period.
Oh,
and
really?
So David Bowie played the part. And we have another tie to the show, as in David Bowie's real name is Dave Jones.
It is.
Which we've
there you go.
talked
Which
about
you
before.
didn't know, and you're a muso. I can't believe it.
Yeah. And I think that was actually back in... I believe our last episode we talked about David Bowie was Bowie and the Brown Note.
Bowie and the Brown Note, yes. What an episode that was. What was in it? No idea.
No, we're just cracking up about the Brown Note.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, there was a NASA Twitter... there's a history thing for NASA Twitter account. And basically they said 5 days ago... today in 1969, it was 5 days before the Apollo 11 launch that David Bowie released his Space Oddity song.
Oh, really? There you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it's that old. That's scary.
Yeah. It's getting up there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so,
how old was Bowie when he actually released that? How old's Bowie now?
He is, I don't know.
This is the music history part of the channel.
Yeah.
And I can see, I just got a pop-up. Yes, Chris is now watching a YouTube video. Would I like to switch? Or, hang on, this is part of this new Google Plus thing. Yeah. Here we go. I'm going to try it. This could be an epic fail. I have to find it first. We'll see if this works. This is the video we talked about before. So it's David Bowie, and this is the song Space Oddity. So we can at least have people listen. Oh, I've lost your audio. I can't hear a thing.
Oh, there we go. So actually, there's a push to talk during videos.
Oh, so is there? Right.
Yeah, so we can actually watch and record videos and everything.
Mine's not working at all.
Oh, okay.
No, there we go. Google Plus fail live on air. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
There's a big green button up the top which says switch to YouTube, and a big button which says nope. And now I press nope, and it's not even going away. So
I gotta turn this video off. Yeah, so sorry about that. So that was a fail there too, I guess. But we were trying out the video thing. You can actually watch videos concurrently on Google Plus. So me and Dave, it'll actually sync up the time wise, and it'll allow you to watch videos together.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty awesome. If it works.
Yeah, if it works.
I'm sure. I mean, this is only a beta, right? I mean, it's only or it's an alpha or something.
It's
like
beta. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't everything in Google still beta? Don't they claim that everything, even the search engine's still beta? You know?
Yeah, they do, and that's actually
part of their
interesting.
culture.
I don't know if it's still on the list. We had that on the list for a while, but that actually happened with the power stuff. They canceled the Google Power Meter a while back.
That's right. Yeah, the Google Power Meter. Yep.
And that's kind of annoying because and then apparently Microsoft did the same. They ended up canceling their. I think they called it Roam, ROHM, I think.
Oh, okay.
So that's the
Microsoft
company. One.
There's a company called Roam. Oh. They make resistors.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've heard. I mean, I know the company.
Yeah.
But
go figure.
And so they they both had this big deal coming out about it. They both said, "Oh, well, we're doing power metering now and control your smart devices." And then no one really took it up, and none of the smart meters really came out on time. So they just said, "Well, screw it," and they just canceled the whole thing. That's because that's the software way of things, right? There's not as much
if there's
reason to keep it around.
Yep. But you think a company that size would just keep it going because they could. I mean, that's just crazy. I can't imagine it would be a cost-cutting thing on their part. I mean, how many people would be working on that in a company the size of Google, for example.
Well, at Google, though, it could be, Google has their 20% time. So if they have people that were working on it and they were invested in it, and then later they said, oh, well, I want to try a new project, that would actually be, if they said, oh, we don't want to spend 20% time on this anymore, that would just be the end of it, right?
Yeah, maybe of course, if it's a pet project, yeah. And if there's no one left, everyone goes, oh, it's boring now, I want to move on to something cool, something new and cool, then, well, so be it.
Yeah. And so I'm actually looking at it right now. This is actually Microsoft Home, and I found a neat little trick. I can actually drag with Google Chrome right over the top of your face, Dave.
Oh, really?
While I'm recording this, yeah. So people that are watching the video can see what I'm talking about. It's called Home, not Rome, which makes a lot more sense.
Right.
But it's HOHM. So that's the Microsoft one that got canceled.
Okay. And if,
so that's too bad.
And what we're actually trying to do here is we're actually recording video at both ends here. So we're actually locally screen capturing our video. So I'm screen capturing Chris, and he's screen capturing me, and hopefully we can put them side by side.
Yeah, I'm switching. I'm switching between them a lot too.
Yeah. Well, you're switching. It looks like I can't switch it. Look, I'll try it now. Here we go. Let me hit me. Yeah, there we go. Hello. But I get lag, you see, whereas Chris has no lag. This is the interesting thing about Google Plus, is that there is essentially no lag. The video is awesome. I can see Chris practically in real time, and he can see me in real time. But if I put my video up on the window, then I get lag. So go figure. That's a good 1 second, half second, 1 second lag there.
Yeah, it's almost like what we would need is like a third person just doing like production type stuff. Because then if they would be able to record the two remote people, right? They would record you and me, and that would be synced perfectly. And then their own stuff would be lagged, and they'd be able to switch between things. So maybe if we ever get to that point. And that's how the
professional shows work. So
right, exactly. That's how Twit Network does it, and everybody else. But they don't do it from the U.S. to Australia. They do it from they're in their new place
to New York or something.
Oh yeah, they all
most of their people are local. Yeah,
a lot of their stuff is so. Oh, we are bouncing around a lot though. So Google Plus, let's talk about that just a little bit more. I mean, I don't know what your feelings are about it, but and we're not like a tech show, but it probably comes as no surprise to everyone, but Chris is super excited about Google Plus. Well, yeah, but I was more excited about this
You're
thing.
Excited about a new social media outlet.
No.
Wow. What a shock.
I'm more excited about... I was most excited when I saw the video thing. That's what I'm most excited about, because people know I've been complaining on here about getting audio in here and getting more people involved and everything, and that's the hardest part. This is a huge tool for just hooking people up and being able... If we just invite people and record, that's pretty awesome. Yeah. So that's what I'm excited about.
But it doesn't solve the audio problem. People still have to record locally. We're still recording our audio locally because the audio actually recorded through here is probably not good enough, although it's probably okay, I guess. If we had to have a third person and they didn't have a recording setup, we could actually record their audio coming through. But
yeah, exactly. So that would be, we would just, you and me would record locally. But we'd still have
to probably have a second machine there to actually just record that, and then we don't record our voices on that same stream and then mix it together later, and it all gets too hard.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, Google Plus, it's fun. It's a lot nicer than Facebook, I think.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's not Facebook, and that's what I love about it.
Oh yeah, that XKCD that XKCD.
Yeah, the XKCD thing. These little earbuds, I'm using my earbuds instead of the big thing, and they're hurting the inside of my ear because they've got no little, foam inserty thing in them. So, I don't know. I'll soldier on. It's all right. I'm a radio professional.
Okay, all right. And this is so that XKCD is actually about Google Plus, and that was actually one of the first things to come out about Google Plus.
Yeah, it was. It's very cool.
Yeah.
We'll have to link that in, actually.
Yeah. So, to jump back, I actually want to talk about, because we were talking about the Apollo launch with the David Bowie song. That was part of the history thing.
Yep.
So what did you think about the last shuttle launch? You get a chance to watch that?
I missed it live. I kind of remembered, and I go, oh, I should check when it's on, and then I actually forgotten it had already gone. But I saw it on the news, and it's sad. It was so funny. They actually interviewed people down on the ground there, and they're bawling their eyes out. There was this one woman going, "Oh, I can't believe it! I can't believe it!" Typical American. Sorry, it's and I was watching the news with the wife, and we're just going Americans, and we'll just shaking our heads.
That's just what they show you. I mean, come on, man.
I know, but that's the stereotypical image we get. These
they actually have the same clip that they use every single time in Australia. It's always some lady. I can't believe it. America was number one.
We were just shaking our heads. It was just funny. Yeah, the stuff they choose to show, and and the other stuff we're seeing here. Another American poke. I haven't poked America for a while. I'm poking to the camera here. There we go. Yeah. Was that there's this trial on at the moment or something?
Oh, I don't even want to hear about that. No, I've been avoiding that.
There's fights. That's all they show here is the
I know.
People fighting to get into this trial.
It is so
just to be a witness in this anyway, and we just shake our heads and go, bloody Americans.
Yeah, I would say that too.
Oh, well, you heard it here first. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yeah, the thing that bugs me about, NASA's kind of running into funding stuff now too, so that's kind of the thing that bugs me about it. And I was kind of trying to figure out what would finally do it to get the U.S. off its butt and get NASA back in gear. And I think I figured it out, though.
What is it?
I think if we start a Cold War with China, and then China says we're going to the moon.
Wars work every time.
Yeah, exactly, right? So if they say we're going to the moon or we're going to Mars, then bring it on, man.
I thought they already have. Don't China say we're going to be at the moon by 2020 or something? We're going to land a man on the moon? Haven't China already? I'm sure I've read that somewhere.
You read it on our list actually a couple of weeks back. It was
right.
It was on there, but yeah, they have said it. I think they said robots to the moon or Mars first.
Okay, yep.
But I mean, in terms of like dollars that technology dollars that need to be spent, China is winning. Yeah.
Well, yeah. And that was a dumbass move by America to cancel that. It's just at least keep it going until you've got your next program up and running, because they're still spending money on what's the other program called, the new program that they have,
the Constellation or the
something like that.
The heavy lifter.
It's got and very American type name,
Oh yeah, the Freedom.
The Freedom
rocket.
America Star Spangled Banner booster. Crazy.
Yeah.
But why you would can it and then not have anything else finished yet? It's just
that's another thing. Yeah, I was watching a lot of the
crazy.
Neil Tyson deGrasse. I was watching his Twitter feed as I was watching the feed.
I don't subscribe to him on Twitter. Is he good?
He's great, man. Especially during liftoff and say he'll give like facts and stuff. And so if people are on Twitter, he's a good one to follow.
I'm actually reading his book at the moment. So
great, yeah,
it's an awesome book.
He is one of the number one advocates for science in the world, and every time I see him, I'm just blown away. I mean, like, you watch some of his speeches, even he's just so frank about everything.
He's brilliant. And I've seen him live. He was at the Big Bang taping. He was the special guest in that Big Bang thing I went to. So,
nice.
Unfortunately, he didn't stick around, so I didn't get to meet him afterwards. So that was
that would have been cool.
Kind of sucked, but
yeah,
yep,
yeah. So he's just a really good advocate for science for NASA, and he was saying, I think he was the first one to say it. The first. Wow. Sorry, a little distracted.
You're live on camera here, Chris. Come on.
I know, right? If you look at the space shuttle program going backwards, we go from nothing to low Earth orbit to finally landing on the moon. If you went backwards in time.
Right.
Yeah.
And the point of that is?
Well, that we've been going backwards, basically. So we started by landing on the moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, it has been down, it is downhill since you land a man on the moon, isn't it? I mean, It's just, how could it not be? And it's just crazy. Imagine what we could have achieved if we kept up that level of investment and enthusiasm. So, I don't, it's a shame. Don't even get me started. Anyway, we've got a follow-up from last week. Well, I've got a follow-up. You know how we talked about the open source multimeter?
Oh, yeah. That was a good... Yeah, this is a good follow-up. I like this.
Yeah, somebody posted, a new forum person just jumped on the forum, and their first post, it was a killer first post, they went, just take a look at my rendering I've done of my own concept for this open source multimeter. It's like a Eurocard format type thing, and he's done it in he's done all these 3D renderings, and it just looks absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, it's really
fantastic.
I really like that it's a Pixie chassis, which is a type of modular device. So it's Pixie based. That's really cool.
Right. Okay. So that's an off-the-shelf rubber, that's an off-the-shelf case he's actually using, is it? I've seen these cases before, but I'm not overly familiar with them. But it's a standard. Is it actually a Eurocard format plug-in?
I don't know what Eurocard is. Can you explain that?
You don't know what Eurocard is? Oh, come on.
Sorry.
Man,
Sorry.
It's only been around for like 30 years or something. It's a standard size board footprint. It's a it's like 160 millimeters by something. Anyway, it's a standard size plug-in rack kind of thing, which people have been using for 30 years. So, and it's great. And Google SketchUp. He's used Google SketchUp to do this. Now, I tried to use Google SketchUp to do my lab, to try and remodel my lab, and I just sucked at it. I just could not drive the thing properly. I gave it a good go, and I don't know how he's done this, how much effort he's put in.
Man, Google SketchUp is easy. It's great.
You think?
Oh yeah, I've used it for my workbench when I built my workbench, and I've used it. What else? I've actually built similar models before. I actually taught people at my company how to use SketchUp for rapid circuit prototyping and everything, because if you don't have a mechanical engineer around and you need to try and
you've got to do it.
Show someone what you want, and maybe you want to do all this work before you go bugging a mechanical engineer, then you need to show them something, and has it actually got plugins for circuit boards and stuff? Has it got standard things which you can like he's got batteries there. He's actually drawn the batteries and the LCD and it's all just a really simple. It's just you do a circle, you just draw a circle and then you extrude it and you extrude it. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. But then when you're trying to do the complexity of this and do those little molded brackets he's done, those little brackets which hold the right angle panel in place and all that sort of, it just seems like a hell of a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I'll give you that.
Right, okay.
But it's fun work. I mean, I've never been a mechanically inclined person, but it was really fun doing this kind of thing. And so what I do for when I use it, I showed pictures here. I'll drag it across again. He shows it with a green circuit board, and then he's got the different colored plugs and everything.
Yeah.
But then what you can do with Google SketchUp is just overlay a picture. And so what I do is I just grabbed a generic picture of a PCB, and then it just tiles that across, and so it looks like a PCB. And that's how he's done the screen there. He's done the LCD. He's just taken a bitmap image and said, I want it on that surface. Yeah. My voice is going, I want it on that surface, and bingo. And I guess once you've done a single button, then you can actually copy and paste those buttons, right? So and he's done the front panel plug, so once you've done one, you can just copy and paste it, I guess. But that's a hell of a lot of work. I don't know how many hours that would have taken him to do that, but it's very impressive. Anyway, Dave, did you mention your video last time? Did you mention your own video about the open source hardware multimeter?
Yes,
did you mention that last week?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it.
Okay, yes. I wasn't sure if you had or not.
Had I actually done it by then? Anyway, yes, I do have an open source multimeter concept. I'm pretty sure we talked about it last week, but I don't know.
If only had some kind of internet medium to check this out.
Right. And I wanted to talk about, how much this has changed the landscape. I mean, and as you say, whereas before you needed a full-on mechanical engineer, right, to actually do this sort of stuff, and you had to try and relay your concept to them and things like that. But now, a single engineer can just do the whole show. They can do their own 3D renderings and prototypes, and I would have killed for this 15 years ago. We just weren't, even if you had a full-on mechanical person, 3D wasn't, as big as it is and as easy as it is these days. And it's just, to do like a 3D rendered mock-up of your actual product was almost unheard of, really, outside of, say, aerospace or something like that. Outside of Boeing doing a 3D model for their new plane
where
or
they
something.
Actually build the little plane and then they put it in a wind tunnel, and they have those techs that are brilliant at doing that stuff.
Yeah, those tools were so massively high end and expensive that no company could actually afford them. Apart from the big Boeings and defense companies and stuff like that. So really, you had nothing. You had to do just a little hand sketch of your concept, and it was pretty shitty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the worst when you're trying to... that was actually part of this presentation I did on it. I showed the difference between a 3D model that I had, and it was pretty rough, a rough 3D model, but then I compared it to the situation that got me into it in the first place, where I was trying to show a connector vendor what I needed, and instead of being able to quickly draw it in 3D, I had to try and sketch it out, so I scanned those sketches in, and they were just... They were unbelievably bad,
crap. Yeah. And you can tell the difference between the video I did, which is my hand-drawn DaveCAD sketch of my concept, and this fantastic 3D model, It's just... no contest, really. So...
Yeah, it really is quite nice.
And it's just changed the whole landscape, Anyone can, come up with these brilliant concepts and ideas, and once again you can go on Kickstarter and you can get funding and you can do all sorts of, you can go and get venture capital or anything, with your concept. It's just so easy for any man on the street to do a 3D model. I don't know, is it putting these 3D experts out of business? If you're a 3D, I don't know, 3D artist, if you're into that sort of stuff, I don't know.
Engineer even?
A mechanical engineer, well... there are differences between, there are specialists who actually specialise in, product renderings like this. And
that's like the difference between someone saying, well, Dave, people have, Eagle or Design Spark. Are you, as a professional electronics designer and former, CAD specialist when you were just doing CAD, would that have put you out of business? I don't think so, because you couldn't handle the volume that was needed, right? The volume of boards. Yes, I guess. Okay, but this just opens up avenues to, anyone. Really, it's just absolutely amazing. Because it's apparently so easy to use, even though I'm dumbass at it. But yeah, it just works. It's great. Yeah. And so on a similar front, actually, we just saw news this week that CERN, the particle accelerator lab in Switzerland, they have released the first official open source hardware license. So it's a license now versus whatever
there hasn't actually been
before.
A real license before, has there? It's it's a concept. It's a definition. Open source had an open source hardware definition, but it didn't actually come with a license. You had to go choose one of the, GPL or something like that. But now this is actually a specific hardware open license. So how is it different? I haven't looked into the details. Do you actually know how it's different to the Creative Commons one, for example, which most people use?
It is different than the Creative Commons. I'm not completely sure. I'm on the open source hardware mailing list, which anyone can get on, and so I could post a link to that if people are interested. It's not like this is like some kind of secret information. So it's a lot of people that went to that open source hardware convention last year.
Yeah, that's on again shortly, isn't it?
It's coming up. Yeah, remember I said that's the same weekend as my wedding this year.
You're getting married. That's right.
Right.
Yep.
So basically, on the same list, one of the guys from CERN actually wrote to it today, and he said basically it was all in the same vein as the definition, the open source hardware definition or the open hardware definition, and basically they were just kind of taking that and running with it. And now I think the difference is it's a legal framework now. So now it's like enforceable. They had lawyers look all this over, and
well, that's the same
kind of the
the Creative Commons. So what's the actual difference? If the Creative Commons, which we've talked about before, where there's commercial, non-commercial, and there's all sorts of there's about 8 different variations of that. You can pick and choose. So I'm assuming that there's got to be some sort of extra stuff in there that covers hardware. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or did they find that the Creative Commons really, when it came down to it, didn't legally support hardware as well as it could have? Maybe.
I believe that's it. So he wrote, he talked to the legal advisor of CERN, and they needed a good legal framework for their open hardware designs.
Right.
And basically,
so
I think they were adding other stuff in. I think that's kind of the idea.
Right, so they've looked into it, CERN have looked into it, and they go, well, the other one's not really legally adequate for us, so we're going to do our own. Okay.
You know, the thing that's crazy to me is that CERN, I wouldn't have thought of, CERN is publicly funded, and they do really crazy stuff, but I wouldn't have thought of them as someone who, a company or an entity that would be like, yeah, let's release all their stuff. You know, it feels like it would be very secretive, you know?
I was very surprised. Yeah, CERN is, usually they don't actually release anything unless it's actually published, in a peer-reviewed journal, unless you read it in Nature or something like that.
Right.
I just didn't expect them to... Yeah, I was very surprised. I went, CERN? Huh?
Yeah. But
what's going
whatever
on?
it is, I mean, it's good. Anyway, it's good that it's in there, whatever it is, you know. So, oh boy.
Excellent. So if you want to release your open source hardware stuff, you've got an extra license you can use. So yeah, if you can actually read, if there's any legal experts out there who can read the stuff and actually tell us the exact differences, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll be using that instead of the Creative Commons for my stuff.
Yeah. And one other last thing about that, there was actually another debate on that email list about whether, and I think we've talked about it on here before, about open source hardware versus open hardware, and our prognosis was who cares, and I think theirs was who cares.
Right.
So, all right, let's just move on and make some stuff, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I like it. Now another follow up. Dino.
Yes.
Tried to make that USB kill switch I was talking about.
He did.
He actually did a live show where he tried your concept, even though I shot that down in flames last week and said it wouldn't work. He actually went ahead and tried it, and well, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Told you so.
I actually ended up sending I found a USB. There was like this webinar, and actually, I think for the first time in recorded history, that was a useful webinar. I'm not sure.
No way. No.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So he wrote to me today saying that he learned more about USB, and I was reading about it as he was doing some of the hacking there, and he was just kind of trying resistor here, resistor there.
Yeah, try to actually the data lines, trying to pull them up and do weird stuff like that.
I never realized that with USB, there's actually, there's data plus, data minus, but what I didn't realize is that it's not just differentially sensed, like the data coming in, but it's also it's different depending on what speed grade you're on. So if you're at like the lower speed versus the higher speed, I think it'll be reversed, and that's actually how it tells which is which.
Okay, I didn't know the exact details like that.
Right, and I knew that some of the how that's determined, which speed grade it is based on like pull ups and pull down resistors on different lines, but then that's just like when it first talks to a device, it says, okay, well, what speed grade are you going at? And it says, oh, you got to pull up on your data plus or whatever it is.
See, I didn't know it did that. I thought it always defaulted to the lower one, talked, and then it was a software handshake thing that actually determined the faster bit rate.
Yeah, I'll have to try.
I didn't know it was actually a pull up.
Yeah.
So that's. But once again, I've never been that involved in it to actually know that sort of detail. So.
Right. Well, unfortunately, USB is one of those things where you just kind of expect it to work. I mean, it's not really realistic.
Exactly. No, that's right. You want to, you have a micro, it's got USB built in, you hook it up to it, and you just, Well,
the other thing that usually confounds that too is that that like the simplest of USB is always like USB to serial. That's the simplest
Yep.
stuff. But when you get into it, it's always like USB stacks. So it's basically like Ethernet where it has different priority levels.
Oh yeah.
Because if you have like 100 different devices on a line,
software layer. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you have a bunch of different devices, that has to figure out, well, all right, this one has priority, this one, if your webcam and your mouse are plugged into the same port, it's sharing the data lines, then it's got to figure out if it's plugged into like a USB router or something, right? Or what's that called? A USB port. You were talking about you needed one.
Yeah, I need I've run out of US because my laptop's only got 4 USB ports, and I've got one for my I'm using one for my external speakers, which you've seen in a blog. I'm now using one for external webcam because I am using my.
And Dave can actually show his little his lab here if he moves his webcam.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Let's hope we don't kill it. So there's my notebook.
Yeah.
And can we get that?
Hey,
there we go.
That is recursive.
There's you, and there's the recording window.
Weird.
Yeah. I'm using that as the recording window. There's the
weird.
live. Yeah, that's the live audio there in being recorded, and there's my speakers, which I'm plugged into there.
This is like, now this is another thing we could do with Google Plus. We could invite people on here, right? Not just guests,
and
but
they can show.
We could do Workbench of the Week this way. We could switch back to Workbench of the Week. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, it's not bad, right?
The Amp is now a video show.
All right. Well, we'll see how it works.
Oh boy. Anyway.
Yeah.
I think people are still going to listen to it rather than watch it.
Well, if that's still,
anyway,
hopefully
I'll
it's still
stick
the
it up
focus.
as an experiment on my channel, and I'm sure we'll get like 5,000 people watch it just out of curiosity, but then they'll probably get pissed off. Oh, I don't want to watch this anymore. I just want the audio.
Yeah.
Or maybe they are actually they're actually playing it, but they're just. I do this all the time at work. Like I will sit, I will play something on YouTube, but I won't actually watch it. It'll be a lecture or something like that, and I'll just play the audio in the background, and I'm just, wasting all that bandwidth. Because I'm just listening to it.
Google doesn't really care.
I know. But why? Why don't they have a simple option like kill video? I just want to listen to
Oh,
the
yeah, we
audio.
talked about that before. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be nice for us, too, because then we wouldn't have to edit the audio at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, should we start up a new Amp Hour YouTube channel? Have we got one?
I think so. Yeah, we'll make one for that. So
anyway.
I'll link it into that. I actually just made an Amp Hour account just before the show. So
right.
Yeah, we'll link it in there. Amp Hour account. Yeah. I don't know. This hasn't been too awkward yet. I mean, I'm usually a pretty awkward person, and
right
now I feel kind of awkward.
Well, see, you're staring directly at the camera, whereas I'm not. I'm barely looking at the. Now I am. I'm looking at the camera, and
right.
No, I'm just staring at my screen because you can't have the camera in front of the screen. So
right.
Well, I guess I could. I could stick it right in front, and then sort of, if I need to read something that's under it, I can move my head around. But
yeah,
maybe I should try that.
All right.
I got so much shit on the desk here. Hang on.
All right.
Oh,
While Dave's doing that, I'll start talking about the next thing I wanted to talk about. So this is actually a segment we haven't done in a while. So we got
this is crap. What the?
Yeah. So
I found out that's just garbage. I'm sorry, I got too much shit on my desk.
Oh, that's okay.
That's just not working.
So I found out 2 days ago. Cleveland. So I live in Cleveland. I live in Cleveland, Ohio. I found out Cleveland has a semiconductor company. This is just like the weirdest thing ever. Yeah, and it's just it's a small company. They do like sensors, a lot of like photo sensors and stuff like that. But it's funny. Like I wouldn't think about like a chip company being in a small place, but I guess it if you have the right kind of equipment, then that's all that really matters. So
right. So they actually have their own fab. They've got their own small scale.
Basically a bunch of CVD machines and, some silicon wafers. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's called ER Semiconductor. And so,
there you go. Shout out to ER Semiconductor.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Awesome.
We found semiconductor companies before, so maybe they'll get big and then throw a design contest after this.
Right, okay. Any more thought of any more design contests?
No.
Yeah, it's too hard, isn't it?
No. Oh, for me? Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Hell no. Yeah, we're
555
still
was it.
dealing with that. Yeah.
Right. Oh, you're
Yeah.
still dealing with after
A little
effects of
bits
that,
here
are
and
you?
there. Yeah, here
Right.
and there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I told
But
you so.
whatever.
Chris, my young Padawan learner, he doesn't
Just because
listen.
you're lazy, man. Just because you're lazy.
Yeah, I am. I'm inherently lazy.
Yeah.
It's a wonder I get anything done at all, really.
Yeah.
I'm just totally surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So another thing in the chip bin. So we have other, we group stories by topics, and another thing in the chip bin. There's, I think we've seen a story about this before, but there's a new company. I found this kind of obscure article today, but so India has sponsored a chip design before, and I think we've talked about that. But there's a new one actually from the Philippines now. Now the Philippines is trying to get into it, and so they're developing a new processor, and I forget what they call it, like a Rizal, I think that was it. Rizal,
Right.
Rizal. And so they're trying to just develop a new processor from scratch, and then actually do the manufacture there in the Philippines. But I think what they're trying to do, basically, it's state sponsored, and I think they're
Right.
trying to create a chip industry because they're kind of a next generation low cost area.
Okay,
And-
that's pretty cool. But why design your own architecture from scratch?
right.
There are so many out there. There's so many
know.
open source ones now. Why would you? I don't understand.
Well,
Just
that's what I think.
from an educational point of view, maybe great,
Yeah.
fine, go for it. But I don't know.
Well,
Does the
I
world
think
need
it's
yet another
almost
architecture?
expressly for the purpose of trying to stimulate industry and trying to create
Right.
a chip industry in the area. And
Yeah, but you can do that. Just take in an existing off. In fact, you can do it a lot quicker and with less risk using an existing off-the-shelf open
Like
source
design?
architecture. I mean, why?
well, but then you
Yeah.
don't need tons of designers that you can give money, and that injects money into your
right.
economy.
Okay, well, yeah.
So that's
okay,
I think
but-
that's the real thing. So I think I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I mean, and it's not going to be like a national pride kind of thing either, because like I'm sure that at least on the street, probably 1 in 10 people couldn't tell you where ARM was first started, and I'm sure even in the electronics industry, 6 out of 10
Yep.
people probably couldn't tell you where it was started.
Uh-oh.
Got our
We have another
amp hour
caller.
caller. now you can't fake it, Dave. You're on
I
camera.
I can't do it. It doesn't work anymore on the
Yeah,
video.
sorry, buddy.
I can answer it, but
it's
maybe
actually
it's
gonna-
Randy again.
Yeah.
Is it Randy,
Yeah.
was it?
I don't
Was it-
think it was
Randy,
it Randy?
where was he? From Hicksville or something?
From Oklahoma or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Poor
Yeah,
Oklahomans.
all
always
the,
getting
this
beat
is
down
like
by Dave.
the Oz, like behind the curtain kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we are the
Nice.
wizards from behind the curtain.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just lifted totally. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Talk
That's
about
what you
more
get
chips.
when you actually work from your studio here, which is your office. You've got a phone in here, and well, it rings occasionally. It's never for me. Nobody ever calls me.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
I've got a mobile phone. Never rings. I don't even bother to check it, even if I have a message or something.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
just
and back
pointless.
in the day,
I'm
I mean,
so off the grid.
right. And if you were consulting back in the day, and the phone's ringing, that's a good thing, right? But now it's
Oh
like,
yeah, exactly.
if your email box
it
is
was
full,
a real
that's
phone
a good
because
thing.
we didn't have bloody mobile phones back then. You know, it was a we had
yeah.
fax machines and we had real phones and yep. Geez, we didn't even have cordless phones back then. It was just all you know.
Back in your day, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, back it was rotary dial. You know. We
Yeah.
had a rotary dial phone up until well into the 80s. I'm sure it was well into
Oh,
the
yeah.
80s. We had a rotary dial. So
Yeah, I mean, we had it in the 90s, I think.
really.
90s? No, we probably
Well,
got
you
a
are
touchdown
from,
in the 90s.
well,
yeah.
you are from Cleveland, Ohio.
What the hell does that mean?
So I'm just poking you, bringing you from some backwater, you know.
Backwater. Don't even know where Cleveland
Well,
is on
you
a
could
map,
be
I
in
bet.
California where all the action is, you know.
Well, it could be, but, whatever.
You're
I
always
think-
talking about how few opportunities there are in.
Well, I think the interest. Okay, so here's an interesting article about that actually. So you say California's where the action is, and I would counter with China's where the action is, right? And that's what I think a lot of people
well,
counter, right? But get this. Now there's a company called I don't know how to say this. Huawei. Where is it? It's on
Gesundheit.
some- Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huawei. I'm totally saying that wrong. Anyways, they're a foreign national company. They're a Chinese-based company, and they've got a huge design center now, and they're expanding it continuously in the Silicon Valley. That's their thing. And I'm going to focus here. Sorry, my camera. I have to try and get it back in focus.
Okay. I thought it was something to do with the stream. It was your focus, camera focus, just not working.
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah, another fail.
All right.
So there's a new. It's not new though. It's this huge company. They got people everywhere. But basically, there's so much talent in Silicon Valley that this Chinese company opened a design center in Silicon Valley, and now they're expanding it because that's where they're pulling a lot of their talent from. I mean, even a lot of Chinese talent is ending up in Silicon Valley. So here's all
these other dumb companies, right, moving to China, like Altium, thinking that's where the action is, and here's all the smart Chinese companies now moving out of China because there's no talent there, right?
Right.
Is that what they're... So, well, there must be a huge reason why a Chinese company like that, would move shop, and I assume they've moved shop, right? They were China-based. They didn't start up in Silicon Valley, right? Is that the...
No. They started in China, and basically they've grown through acquisitions and everything else, and now they have a North American arm, and yeah, they're like a contractor company, I think, and
okay, yep, and they realize that's where the talent is, right?
Right. There's that, and they also, it's because they're growing through acquisition too. I mean, if you're buying RF companies, you're going to want to be where the RF companies are because you need to have more people there. So.
Yep, very true. And it's, I think we talked about this the other week. It's like, everyone's moving to China. Companies are moving there thinking, oh, yeah, we'll get cheap, really good talent. There's so many people coming out of the universities there and stuff like that. Yeah, we can pick them all up cheap. Well, A, it's not that cheap. And B, apparently there's a really high turnover, a really high churn rate in these companies for engineers. They just last 6 months and they bugger off. Especially in the big cities like Shanghai and Hong Kong and places like that. There's just a massive turnover apparently. So it doesn't matter how good the talent is, if it's just churning over every 6 months, you're going to be screwed as a company.
Right.
And really, it's going to be hard to get consistent quality and stuff like that. So, especially when there's a big steep learning curve. Say you're a software company like Altium are, and they move to China, as we've talked about. Well, if you've got your key programmers actually, churning over every 6 months, well, good luck to you. It's going to be hard to get consistent code out of it. So. Yeah, that's got to be tough because it takes you many, many months to come up to speed on something like that, and they spend 3 months coming up to speed. They do 3 months worth of work and then bugger off. Right. Well, yeah, you're screwed. So,
and you were talking about the Time article, right? Is that right, Dave? The Time article that you were
yes, the Time article. Yes, okay. That's right.
Yeah, so I've got that up here now, and part of it too is you read about it and you. It's easy to say like, oh well, Chinese people are taking our jobs, and whatever people say, right? But at the same time, like you read of these stories and like, man, they are just, it's like heartbreaking to think, like how little work there is for the world, right? That's kind of what it comes down to, because they're so happy to have the jobs. People that are losing jobs are so sad to be losing the jobs, and it's just culturally, it's just amazing difference. I don't have any solution for it, obviously, but
well, that's at the low end. But I think, as I said, like at the high end, all of these engineers, all these graduates who are coming out and people with experience, they're not batting an eyelid at changing companies. At moving around. They don't seem, oh, I've got a job, I've got to be loyal to the company, and they just don't seem to care. They will just jump from one company to the other. So I guess there's work out there. Well, there has to be able to do that. If you compare that to, say, the Japanese, who they're very loyal, that's part of their culture. You join a company and you're there for life almost sometimes. So they're a very loyal culture. But China, I don't know.
That is kind of interesting, the difference between the different like white collar, blue collar kind of stuff. Because this article is mostly about kind of manufacturing side of things, and they don't really touch on the white collar kind of stuff. So
Right. Yep. I don't know if you've got a background in China, if you can tell us if we're right or wrong, or what actually happens over there. I'm sure we have some Chinese listeners.
yeah.
You notice I got that right. I didn't say Chinese viewers. I'm learning.
What do you mean? Now we do.
Well,
we will
because
have
I
viewers.
always mix up viewers and listeners, right?
Oh well,
So-
yeah. We might have both now, though.
Okay. Technically, I can say either now,
Yeah.
right? Because we're
Well,
now a
yeah.
video. The amp hour has gone video.
Yeah.
Crappy 320 by 240 webcam,
Yeah. Yeah.
jerky video. I'm just making funny faces to the camera there. Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at the camera. Hello, camera.
Hello,
So-
camera.
Yeah. Whereas you seem to be staring directly at the camera. Is that on purpose, or or is it smack in front of your screen?
I'm staring at you, man.
Oh, right. Okay. Oh, well, sorry, I'm being rude. I haven't looked at you once.
It's okay.
It's those sideburns, dude. I just can't.
I know, right? I can't look at you. I can't look at you.
This 14-year-old kid. It's just no.
Yeah,
Doesn't work.
that's okay.
So does your girlfriend tease you about that, your youthful look, or is it just an on-camera thing? Are you that youthful looking in person?
You know what it is? It's the it's the lights here. I have like right up here. You can kind of see
Right.
how
Yeah.
washed out my hand is. I mean, I'm a pretty pale dude to start with, but
Yeah.
I have
So am I.
some sick amount of lighting in my house, and
Right.
and I,
Okay.
I get the greasy forehead too, so that helps.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, everything about my setup basically makes me look really young.
Cool.
What you gonna do?
I love it.
I get carded a lot still when I try and buy beer, so don't worry about that.
Right. Okay. Oh boy.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's a bit muddled today. We're not as focused as we
We
usually
are all over the place. You know, I didn't give a shout out.
Not that we're usually focused. Oh, shout out! Did we miss a shout out?
I missed the shout out because I wanted to talk about history, but now I should get to it. I wanted to just give a shout out to Hams again. So I was going through old emails, so like basically clearing out my inbox, and I got so many emails from Hams when I was talking about that, and I'm still studying, obviously, but
Right.
they're just so helpful. You know, and I don't know if people know that are listeners that aren't like Ham people, but they actually have a thing called Elmers. Have you ever heard of that, Dave?
No.
Yeah, so that's
What
what
is
they
it?
call, like, Elmering is like basically mentoring someone. And so
Oh,
if you're
okay.
an Elmer to someone, I look really stupid when I say the word
You're a
Elmer.
young-
Elmer.
Right, you're a young Jedi Padawan learner, are you? Is that the
Right, yeah, I mean that's kind of the idea.
The intern for? Oh, okay,
But it's
interesting.
like it's really integral to the culture. And so I got so many nice emails about that stuff. And I just wanted to thank all those guys who sent emails and just give a shout out to the Hams again because as I've said in the past, I mean, analog, the rock stars of analog, obviously, but
Right.
you know, just the helpfulness is nice too. And it for people that are listening or watching too, if you're interested in getting into it, you know, don't be afraid because there's so many people out there who are willing to help. It's pretty awesome. So,
Well, I'd love to know what is the rate of young people actually taking it up, because I can picture it almost dying out. I don't like to say that, but as people get older and older, and as the people who are, because I think it's mostly older people who are into it. So,
yeah.
I'd love to know what.
Well,
what
I
actual
actually
percentage
have
of
an
you-
article for you, Dave.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, yeah, there's this article
Go
from
figure.
Brain
Chris has got an
Wagon.
article. Hey,
Hey,
There's a
something
news
different.
flash.
Yeah, it's from
Where is it?
Brainwagon. But basically, the author
who
he
are
said
Brainwagon?
Brainwagon. He went to a conference called Pacificon, and he's talking about Elmer's here too. And he said he's in his 40s, and he was one of the youngest people there. If that gives any indication,
Right. Okay.
So-
That I'm not surprised in the least.
Yeah.
You would be a young
Yeah.
whippersnapper if you're 40.
Oh, yeah.
And, what, he was in his 40s, like mid 40s or something, and he was.
Oh, where's the?
Or
Yeah,
is it
he
just-
said he. I suspect I was in the youngest 2% of attendees, and I'm in my late 40s.
Wow.
Yeah.
Late 40s. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
It's still not surprising, yeah.
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 And you know, it's interesting. The whole article is about mentors in general, but he bolds this part. He says mentors don't actually create interest in subjects, and that's true. You know, if people aren't going to be interested in ham radio, it's just going to die out. You can't make people want to like stuff, right?
No, of course.
At least not directly. At least not as a mentor. You're
You
not
can
gonna be
do
like,
it
come on in.
indirectly via it's cool, it's fun in some way, but yeah, no.
Right, and just like parents, like engineering parents who like force their kids into engineering, those kids usually don't make it. But the ones who are like, hey, let's go make some stuff togetger, that's usually where it ends up working out. So,
yeah,
so take notice, Dave. So when when your neuro project, ramps up,
right,
don't force him. Just show him the cool stuff you can do.
Oh no,
if he's
exactly.
lucky.
That's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah,
exactly. So. No, he can, I don't care what he gets into as long as it's technical. No, I don't care, but,
musician one musician coming up.
Right, great.
Technical musician.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not fussy, but I'd be more excited if he's interested in the stuff that I'm interested in. And hopefully, I'll show him, but if he doesn't like it, if he thinks it's just uncool, then, well, so be it,
Yeah.
I can hear a dog barking in the background.
Ah, yes, the lovely noises of my lab. Should I give a showing of my lab real quick? I can.
Move the curtain. If you don't know, if you're watching this on video, that is a curtain
what is
behind
the
it.
curtain?
That is not a
in
wall.
Oz, right?
This is literally the Wizard of Oz curtain.
Behind the curtain.
And there's a wizard behind there.
A bunch of crap. Look at that. Yeah. That is the messiest basement ever. There's a reason there's a curtain there.
And you can tell the difference in the actual light there. Like you're really lit up, and behind there is so dark and grainy. And
yeah. And this is the
holy dooly. Oh, you can see drums,
and this is my bench. People have seen my bench before, obviously, but there's all this junk. I can't really tell what I'm looking at here.
Oh, you've got dual monitors there, dude.
Oh yeah. So that's
nice.
That's my thing. Yep, there's my piano on the bench. So, yes, the wonders of video. Yay.
So novel, isn't it? You can waste your time dicking around. Yeah, that's what I did on the live shows. I just started putting special effects over the thing, and then the novelty wore off, and it's just stupid. Right? And it's just, no, they just want to listen to you rant on. So, come on, rant. Oh, there's a door closing.
Yep. Oh, never a dull moment in my house.
No, you
dogs barking and people
have your own Foley studio there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If only we needed sound effects, right?
And for those people who don't know, a Foley studio is like a sound studio where they do all the sounds for the movies. So if you're actually watching a movie,
title. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't? Yeah, I believe it is. Maybe I got it wrong, but anyway, a Foley studio is where they do all the after effects for the movies. So when they're actually shooting a movie, they don't actually they don't actually record sounds on set, like sounds of people walking or sounds of things clanging and doors closing. They actually add all that after the fact, usually. So with all of your big budget ones do anyway, all of your big budget movies. So almost every sound effect. Almost any sound you hear, people's footsteps and stuff like that, is added after in a Foley studio. And they just have lots of weird objects. There's a guy who sits there at a thing with, pots and pans and little tiny doors and little squeaky kids' toys and all sorts of stuff just to, just to get all these noises. Like the noise for the Star Wars lightsaber or something like that. That was done by a Foley studio guy. They'll spend a whole week, going around. They go out to junkyards and they take their little recorder with them and they try and record just the right sound for something. So anyway, there you go.
Well, my studio is well equipped with lots of unwanted noises. So if you ever need anything recorded, just give me a shout. And oh, look at that! Even dogs coming downstairs, even though I didn't ask for them.
Right. And I did get it right. I just searched Wiki, and yes, Foley is used to describe a place, such as a Foley stage or Foley studio where the Foley process takes place. Ooh, there you go. A Foley artist, sound effects. There you go. So I was right. Yep. That was a bit of useless trivia, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we've got 1 minute left.
Yep.
What do we got?
Anything else on here?
I don't know. This is a big fail, this episode, I think. We're too distracted by the video.
No, it's not that bad. Well, we've been a little distracted by the video, I gotta say. But hopefully we get better at it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, there's actually did we ever talk about the video with William Shatner, with him
No.
explaining microchips? So there's
No, I don't think so.
Oh
Do
no, I
tell.
thought we did.
Really?
Yeah, there was a video
William
back in the
Shatner.
day. Yeah, it's really weird. It was sponsored by AT&T or Bell Labs. Oh, and mine started, of course. And it was started by AT&T or Bell Labs, and it's basically him explaining it, like just kind of diving down into a microprocessor.
Oh, that's right. I think maybe it was on the... Yeah, I do recall mention of this. Right, and this, I assume this is like back in the 70s or something, is it? Or 80s or something like that?
Yeah, I think late 70s, early 80s, something like that,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, there's a site with all these, with a bunch of not just the Shatner explaining it, but it was also other videos too. So a lot of other like technical type videos, all sponsored by Bell Labs. And basically, you'll never see this kind of thing again because Bell Labs doesn't exist in that capacity. No. And you know, there's other people making these kind of videos, but I think this kind of video stuff is now up to hobbyists making fun videos explaining stuff, as opposed to whereas you needed, you know, thousands of dollars of production. You know, that was before.
Exactly. Anyone can do it now. Anyone can do anything they like these days. You can form your own chip company. You can do your own. You can become a movie star, a video star, film star, any radio star. Anything you want to do.
You start a podcast, mess it up.
All you got to do is buy
$1,000
$1,000 worth of gear and go. You know, you're set.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The world of the internet.
And one last fun thing, there was actually this...
Shoot.
I don't know when I saw it, but there was a prediction of the internet, actually, from the New York Times.
Where is this?
It was a New York Times article talking about how, let's see, study says technology could transform society, apparently. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, yeah. And, you know, they're talking about privacy and shopping online and all the other stuff. And,
okay. Yep.
It sounds, they talk about, you know, home will double as a place of employment. Home-based shopping will, you know, open up the markets, shift away from conventional workplace. And then this is interesting, a new profession of information brokers, they call it, and managers. Basically, video bloggers? I don't know, podcasters? I guess is that...
not broke. Well, yeah, we sort of syndicate, you know, when you're talking about
aggregators,
you create
right?
content and then you do. I guess, yeah.
When they talk about like influencers online, right? So people that are really influential, right?
Yeah. Do they talk about people producing content? I guess that's maybe what they're getting.
I think that'd be the same thing.
Maybe that's what they're talking about. They're actually talking about a content producer.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But then they're also talking about extended family too, so like, you know, allowing elderly people to work from home longer in life, and that's another good thing. And I think with the exception of the elderly thing, because that has been more of a amount of jobs that have been available, you know, and the amount of people coming up with technology and like being able to use the technology. Aside from that, I think they've been pretty spot on. So this was written in 1982.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy.
Okay. That was before you were born, isn't it?
Yes,
you were born in 82, weren't you?
I was born in 83.
83, there you go. Before Chris was born. Before Chris was itching his daddy's pants. There you go. As the saying goes.
Yeah. I like the last line. It says, copies of this report titled Teletext and Videotext in the United States are available if you write to this address. And it's just like, who... You had to write to people to get
you've
articles?
got to actually wite a letter, and
like,
you have to include a stamped, self-addressed envelope.
Yeah, have to get it on microfiche or something from the library, right? Gotta wait a bunch of months.
That's brilliant.
Oh,
I
man.
love it.
I bet you missed it, right, Dave?
Oh, I so miss
28 years ago.
It's had its good and its bad points. So,
yeah.
As I've talked about. Come on,
Internet
have one last rant that we've got on here. Or should we talk about next week, the Internet of Things?
Yeah, let's talk about that next week. That's a big rant.
Yeah, all right. Because I'm sick of freaking hearing about the Internet of Things.
That is a big load of... There's a big pile of BS.
Exactly. Okay, we'll talk about that next week. We're 5 minutes over.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us on our big experimental video thing. And, we'll put this video up today and hopefully... I don't know. If it sucks, let us know. If nobody watches, not listens, if nobody watches, well, so be it. We just maybe won't bother because it's just too distracting, really.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there'll be some people. What's the threshold? Is there a threshold of people we need to give the thumbs up to it before we keep the concept?
2 people.
2 people. You and me.
No, more than two more. How about that?
All right. Okay. No, this is our show, damn it. We'll do whatever we want. If we like it, just do it.
Yeah.
It's basically our way or the highway, people.
That's right.
Take it or leave
we
it.
do appreciate people watching, so
we do appreciate we appreciate
watching, really.
feedback, and we do shape the show based on feedback. But generally, we just do it because we want to do it, and we do it our way. So, yep, that's the way it works.
All right. Well, we will talk to you guys next week, and maybe even see you next week.
We will. See ya.